Hi everyone, welcome back. This is episode number 2, talking about how to run a college club. I'm Aiden Mackey with AZ Roundnet. I ran GCU for a couple years. Today we're going to be talking about fundraising. When it comes to fundraising, if your school gives you money, you're lucky. Most don't, including GCU. So we had to figure out how are we going to travel with 50 athletes to 2 different tournaments, all on pretty much our own dime. So even if your school doesn't directly give you money, usually they will provide a way for you to do some sort of fundraising campaign, such as snap raise, e-team sponsor, and things like that. Again, get to know your college club rep so you can talk to them and figure out, okay, what type of resources do we have to try to raise money so that we can go and travel to different tournaments. Programs such as Snap Raise, e-team sponsor, they are very simple yet very effective. Programs like this blew up, and actually when I was in high school, my high school baseball team were doing these programs. All it is you have each person on your team list down 20 emails, and from there, the company will do the rest. They will send a message out to all the emails that your athletes provide. They will do all the awkward work of asking for money, and usually it's a tax-deductible donation that a lot of people are more than willing to do as long as they know about it. The organizations do the hard part of getting the word out. And usually it helps to set some sort of goal. So I told my players that if they wanted to have their flights covered for nationals, including hotels and everything, if they wanted all that covered, they would need to raise $400. So they could do the bare minimum of just putting the emails in, but there's also Instagram, texting, there's a lot of different ways to give. And we had 10 to 12 students put in the time and effort and energy to really reach out and ask people for some money, and they were able to hit that $400 goal, and we took a pretty decent squad. Now, that was the year that nationals was kind of iffy up in the air, so instead we went to ATX Spike Down, which was still a lot of fun. As a club, we raised $5,410 this way, which was huge. And the best part is, for these families, it was tax deductible, which means a couple could give $400 to the program and then use it as a tax write-off. So in a sense, it's not like they're really even losing any money. Another really good way to raise a little bit of funds is hosting local tournaments. What I mean, not like huge massive tournaments where you're inviting people in, you're actually spending money, just local student body tournaments. GCU typically hosts 2 to 3 tournaments like this throughout the year. There's always one on Halloween, there's one in March. Usually you can get your school to help out with water, athletic training, a sound system, music, as usually they have all those resources on hand that they're willing to rent out to you. One rule that we do is that every single club member is expected to play with somebody who is not already a part of the club. So they have to ask their significant other, ask their friends, their roommates, like, hey, come play this tournament with me. In doing so, what it does is it, first of all, doubles the amount of numbers and registrations you get for the tournament, but also if each athlete gets one teammate and they register for that tournament, it would then cover the registration cost for another tournament. So if you do that a month before each of your sectionals, you can get your entire sectional fees completely covered just by hosting your own tournament first. As for prizes, you typically don't want to give out the money that you earn to the winners because it's kind of counterintuitive. So what we like to do is hand out the extra jerseys that we ordered. You could also talk to sponsors. We once had Tomahawk shades. We had a couple pairs of sunglasses that we could give to the winners. One time Spikeball was getting rid of a ton of stuff, so we were like, hey, can we get some of those shirts? And we handed those out as prizes. Get creative. There's a lot of things you can do. But yeah, honestly, the most important part is that everybody has a good time and that they feel like their money went to something worthwhile. Lastly, another way to raise a good amount of money is by using a GoFundMe. We did this once for nationals, and we were able to raise around $1,600. It's not the most effective because it's not tax deductible and you have to do all the work yourself. However, it can be really successful to use as a last resort. There's also sponsors. This can be kind of difficult, but it never hurts to ask. A good thing you can do is ask sponsors that are already associated kind of with the Spikeball brand or Roundnet in general. For example, there's Protein 2.0, Tomahawk Shades, Spikeball itself, Women's Roundnet will help as well. So yeah, like I said, it never hurts to ask. Some people will literally just give you free stuff. Also, I know that some people can use a team store, like they're college partners with different organizations and they put together like a Team Roundnet store for 3 weeks and the team gets a little bit of a kickback from each item they sell. I'm not super familiar with how to do this because we never had one. However, I know schools like USC and some other places are familiar with that, so if that's something you're interested, reach out. I can probably get you in contact with somebody who has some experience doing that, and we can get the ball rolling. So yeah, that kind of concludes fundraising. If you have more questions, like I said, feel free to reach out. I'm on the Discord. You can find me on Instagram at AZRoundnet or my Roundnet account. But yeah, I hope this video was helpful, and get ready for episode 3.